on this one. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, just let me know when I'm going. Magnets Arena, the site for some ACHA women's hockey on this Saturday evening. We have the Denver Pioneers hosting the Michigan State Spartans. Michigan State 4-2 coming into this, starting a 3-game road trip out here in the Rocky Mountains, coming from East Lansing. They play Denver tonight. They play Denver again tomorrow at 3:45. These teams will rematch, and then on Monday, they will finish off their trip against the Buffaloes up in Boulder. But tonight, it's the Pioneers and it is the Michigan State Spartans. Let's start with the Pioneers right now. Again, 0-6 coming into this game. They're looking for their first win of the year. Their last time out, they played GCU, that's Grand Canyon, and lost 8-1. They're looking to get onto the winning side of things for the first time. And on the flip side, the Spartans are looking to continue their winning ways after a 2-game losing skid against Penn State and Michigan. They get a win against Penn State 5-3 last time out, and they're looking to start this road trip with a W. They are packing up their things right now before game time. We're about to have the national anthem, and then we will have puck drop when we come back. All right, let's try this again. We have some ACHA women's hockey here at Magnus Arena in Denver, Colorado. It's the Denver Pioneers against the Michigan State Spartans. The game got pushed back about 15 minutes, so you had a little pregame show about 15 minutes ago, and we're going to redo it here. The 0-6 Pios heading up against the Spartans, who are 4-2, starting a 3-game road trip here in the Rocky Mountains. They'll play against the Pioneers again tomorrow afternoon, and they will play the Buffaloes from Boulder. Colorado Buffaloes on Monday before heading back to East Lansing. They're coming off of a 5-3 victory over Penn State. Penn State, that's Michigan State. That is, they won 5-3. Falling to 1, they have lost 2-0 to Michigan as well. Those are their 2 defeats this season. Outside of that, 4-2, a big game for them, though, to get back on the winning side against one of their rivals. Now they're here in Colorado facing the embattled Pioneers, and Denver is trying to get their first win of the year. It has been a struggle so far. Last time out, they lost 8-1 to Grand Canyon University to fall to 0-6. They've scored just 4 goals this year, looking to use this home ice advantage to, well, their benefit and come away with their first win tonight. You can tune in right now. We have lineups going on. We'll have the national anthem. And when we come back, we'll have our starting lineups and puck drop for you here at Magnus Arena. All right, puck drop is imminent, which means we need to go over our starting lineup, starting with the visiting Spartans from Michigan State. They are going to have Julia Droz-Turkey in net, one of their 2 goalies, the only Canadian on their team. She's from Ontario, and she'll be between the pipes for the Spartans. Starting on D for Michigan State, it'll be Gracie Anderson, their president, as well as Claire Leonard. Then in the middle for the forwards, it'll be Allison Nelson. At center, Eileen Carey at left wing, and Anna Wroblewski at right wing. On the flip side, the Denver Pioneers will put Lindsay Taylor in between the pipes as the Shelburne, Vermont native is going to try to lock things down for the Pioneers. Starting on D for them today, it's going to be Alicia Sharoon as well as Caroline Pekala. And then the forward group will be Megan Swijek, Molly Erickson, and Hannah Bourbon. Bourbon and Erickson have scored 2 of the 4 goals this year for the Pioneers. The other goal scored by Gabby Hardy. She has tied for the most points on this team. She's the only woman on this team that has a goal and an assist, and we'll see if she can make an impact tonight as well. Not starting off again, 0-6 are the Denver Pioneers. The Michigan State Spartans are 4-2, coming off of a win against Penn State, starting their 3-game road trip here in the Mile High City. Swyjek lining up against Nelson. And there's a short stoppage here as one of the refs is still getting onto the ice. And now we are ready to go as Swyjek and Nelson come together for the opening draw. Battled for, sent back to the D. It's going to be Claire Leonard. She sends this forward off the half wall. It kicks away, and Denver's going to come up with the puck. Now it's sent over. Pakala is going to have this blown off her stick. Somebody got ran over there. Going back is Sharoon. Sharoon has the puck from behind her own net. Backhanded shovel, turnover, shot, save made. Lindsay Taylor getting tested early. That came off the stick of Allie Nelson. A bad turnover there by Sharoon behind her own net. Was trying to backhand it to her forward who was on the half wall and ended up coming up short. The snapshot was immediately taken. Face-off won by Michigan State, but then intercepted as this is thrown up ice by Molly Erickson. Now with the puck, it's Maya Galasini. This is chipped into the Denver zone, and now it's picked up by Pakala. She's getting fought for the puck. Now it comes up. It's going to be Asher Princeton. Not forward again. Gasolini getting some changes on. Here comes the Pioneers as they send it towards the net. It's now in the corner. Galasini has it intercepted. Pekala sends it on net. That's a pad save. An easy one from a long shot and a tough angle. There for Gross Turkey. Canadians starting off strong. Both teams with a shot on net as we're about a minute into this game. No score. In the Denver zone, it's sent out towards center ice. Intercepted there by Leah Fontana. She sends it back into her own zone where this pass is picked off. Coming up is Olsen, and she'll send it deep, and Chase now swinging around the back of her net, has it chipped away momentarily there by Bush, but now it comes back to Asher Princeton. Princeton is making waves right to the front. What a save! Wonderful job by Lindsay Taylor to come up with that one right in front. Was Princeton. She went coast to coast with that puck. And this is going to squeak through, and Denver could get numbers if they hurry. Trying to shut this off is Lindahl, and she does momentarily. Stops the rush. Denver looking for the puck. It's in the corner. That's Moravchik keeping it in. Sharoon. Moravchik tries to find Bush, but she overskated that puck. Just a bit off there. Would have been a wonderful chance from right in front. Michigan State coming off of a victory over Penn State. They started out the year 3-0 before dropping back-to-back games. They were shut out 2-0 against their rivals Michigan before losing 2-1 in another close game against Penn State, but they were able to rebound and win 5-3 against Penn State last time out, really being led by their D, Mia Gasolini, who we already saw. Galasini make a couple defensive plays in this game. She had 2 goals, 2 of the 5 goals for the Spartans there. This is icing, and the Pioneers will have an ozone draw. So almost 3 minutes into this one. Best chance coming off the stick of Asher Princeton as she drove the net. But a nice save made by Lindsay Taylor. Both goalies have stood up so far. Ozone draw. That's Swyjek who comes away with it. She's shoved into the boards behind the net. And coming up with it here is Leonard, and she makes a great exit pass. And now it's 2-on-2 the other way. Tremendous defense there. Poking it away was Chisdek and really slowing the rush. Now it's fought for in the neutral zone, and eventually DU will come away. Mansour goes D to D. This pass is intercepted, coming right in, Carey, and she is off sides. Eileen Carey intercepted that puck. She had a ton of momentum crossing the blue line, but was just a tick off with her timing and came up empty. This game was supposed to be at the auxiliary arena right next door, but instead it got moved over, pushed back a little bit. It was supposed to be at 7:30, got pushed up to 6:30, then moved back to 6:45, and now here we are in Madness Arena. And of course, the home of the Denver Pioneers. This pass escapes Denver, and it'll be Michigan State puck in the neutral zone. Fought for right in front of the benches. Coaches today, Deb Bellino for Michigan State, and then Eric Mayhew in his first year for the Pioneers. Behind the bench, a ton of speed for McLucky as she's in her own D zone. Hands off to her D partner there. That's Galassini, who again finds her right D there in McLucky is breaking out now, or the Spartans. Cross the blue line on the right wing. Fumbling the puck momentarily. It's battled behind the net now. As Nelson had gone down right in front of the net. She's now just getting to her feet. McLucky activates, sends it towards net. It's blocked before it gets there. Michigan State with some ozone time here. Nelson sends this back. That's Reinach, but it's intercepted. Still keeping it in. Pinson back on the net. Back on the ice, excuse me. That squeezed through Galassini. And DU will get a change. Michigan State staying with they're going to be offsides if they touch this puck, and they eventually do. It'll be offsides, and we'll have a draw out in the neutral zone. So nearly 5 minutes into this one, no score, and for Denver, that's not the worst thing in the world. This team has struggled to keep their opponents off the scoreboard for the majority of this season so far. They've given up at least 5 goals in each game so far. And it's a tough thing as they have a lot of their defensemen studying abroad right now, so they'll definitely get some reinforcements in the second semester once winter break, once a lot of their players come back from overseas studying abroad. Shift back towards center ice. Princeton has to wait, is way down in the Pioneer zone there was Reinach. And now they'll send it deep. Michigan State will get a change as the Pioneers corral the puck. Sent to center ice. Solano, that pass is intercepted, sent towards the net. It goes wide from the blue line. Charging in Erickson. She throws on the brakes, comes up with the puck. Punched forward by Olsen. Now it's back and it squeaks through, right through Picala there and all the way back into the DU zone. Intercepted momentarily. Olsen got a stick on it. Now heading the other way. That's Gabby Hardy. Hardy with a goal and an assist so far this season. Now the Spartans aggressive. This is saucered towards the net. It goes wide of Taylor there. Didn't have to make a play on that one. Not a ton of great puck possession for either side so far yet in this one. Haven't really gotten the offense set up for a long amount of time in either zone so far. Here's a good pass as Leah Fontana jumps onto the ice, and her pass is intercepted. This goes off the referee, the linesman, and kicks out to the captain, player Leonard, who's in and offsides. Avery Hayward was beyond the blue line. So we get another stoppage in play. Shots have been few and far between, about 7 minutes into this one. Such a fun trip for the Spartans to go on. They're here playing the Pioneers twice the next couple days. Then Monday they get to play CU Boulder. Of course, that's who the Pioneers started off their season against. And the Buffaloes have had a strong start to the season as they took the game against the Pioneers. They're one of the top teams in the division right now. This is stolen away right into the slot. The backhanded attempt was met with a bunch of Pioneer sticks as Hayward tried to get it towards the net. Here's a shot here from Anderson. That didn't make it on Leonard. Backhanded back in by Leonard. Shoveled in front. It's knocked away from Schuster. That's Mansour, the defenseman for the Pioneers, causing havoc back there. Again, they've had a lot of puck possession here in the O-Zone. Probably the longest time that either team has had yet this game. but no shots yet on goal. Moravchik tried to get that out of the zone. This is tipped on net. Another opportunity. There was a wide open net, but Mansour was there to deflect it away from harm's way. A great first save by Lindsay Taylor. The rebound was sitting right in front with nothing but empty net. But Mansour was in the right position. She got her stick to it and denied the opportunity. The best of the game so far for either team. And I don't know what the time is after that offsides, they never started the clock again here. Here's a long shot and a glove save made by Lindsay Taylor. It was at 13-19, probably about a couple minutes ago when the offsides happened. And now it's at 11:32 is what we have. And that's probably what the conversation will be. Because right now, throughout the arena, it still says 13-19. It says 13-19 for the last 2 minutes or so. Again, it's about 11 minutes and 30 seconds, so that's almost a full 2 minutes that have come off the clock that, well, didn't come off the clock here in the arena. How shifty is Asher Princeton? Low to high, D to D. Galassini sends this over to her D partner, McCluckey. Her shot was deflected above the net. That squeezed through Erickson, and she had a chance to clear, and Galassini will get it down low beneath the goal line. Saucer pass in front, and no one was home. And now the Pioneers will counter. Their D will get a change as they dump it in. They need some fresh legs. That punched right out in front of Gross Turkey, but unfortunately for the Pioneers, they were not able to get a stick on that one and put any pressure on. Now entering the Pioneer zone on 1-on-2 was Aaron Schlee, but she was defended well. Galassini throws this off of a Pioneer. That was Chisdak, and they'll take control. The Pioneers have not had consistent possession yet in this game. Their only chances have really come off of broken plays on the rush. Their forecheck has created their only 2 shots on goal so far. Galassini, who's been out there forever, escaping some trouble in the O-zone. Chisdak chips this back in. McCluckey sent that one up. Fontana let it go through her. It's retrieved now by Gabby Hardy, and now we had another offsides call. Michigan State's been offsides about 4 or 5 times already in this one. Now the clock here saying 11 minutes and 39 seconds, and you know, assume we might play a 62-minute hockey game here. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. Is I think those 2 minutes just didn't tick off for them. They're just rolling from that 13-minute mark where it was paused for 2 minutes, and they just started it right there, and they've continued from that spot. So we might play an extra 2 minutes of hockey today due to a clock malfunction there. Trying to work her way out of the zone was Samantha Brennan. She was successful in alleviating the pressure momentarily. Great positioning there by Pekala to intercept that pass. Losing a stick was one of the Spartans. They went to the bench, so everybody out on the ice right now does have a stick. Bush tried to get a stick on that. Great stick handling right here. As charging in is Eileen Carey. Carey all the way to the net. Oh, goodness! She weaved through the entire Pioneer defense, went to the backhand, and snuck it 5-hole. It's Eileen Carey starting the scoring for the Spartans. It's 1-0. The sophomore out of Milwaukee scored a goal last time out against Penn State. She starts the scoring here tonight. That was a wonderful play. She broke in on the left wing, evaded a couple of Pioneer defenders before cutting right out in front, made another defender miss before squeaking it through the legs of Lindsay Taylor for the opening goal. As we reach the midway point here in about 30 seconds of the first period, it's 1-0 Spartans. Chisdak poked that out. waiting to get onside. And they're still going to call the Spartans offsides there. As you can see, one of the Spartans way offsides and waiting for to get back on was Allison Nelson. And she had seemingly waited long enough, but apparently she needed to wait a couple more ticks if she wanted to enter the zone safely. At the blue line, Schlee spinning. The shot is deflected into the corner. Schlee now recovers. Low to high. Now back to Schlee. It works through her. Pioneers trying to get the puck loose as Michigan State's had good possession here. Letter just keeps it in. Claire is just going to send it deep now. As that had almost escaped the zone. Now it's bouncing in front. Tons of white and red jerseys there. It's chipped on net. And fortunately, it was chipped a bit wide right at the end there by a DU stick. Princeton centers this. That was right out in front. Erickson lost it, but was able to get out of danger as Chistek carries the puck down the ice. She is going right down the slot. Chistek shoots. It's deflected into the netting. That was the best chance so far for the Pioneers, and it was Chistek going alone. She got the puck in her own zone, carried it all the way through the neutral zone, split the D of the Spartans, and got a lot on that shot, but good defense. Got a stick on it, deflects high. So both teams get a change here. Pacala's shot is deflected wide. McCluckey was there to block it. Exits the zone. Pacala again sends it deep, and the Pioneers will give chase. Olsen, the Colorado native, was right out in front of the net. Here's an interception. Hardy had it taken away. Now Olsen in front had it chipped away. A couple good looks for Denver, but they couldn't get the shots off. Dumping it deep and giving chase now. That's Josie Lindell. Michigan State applying pressure again. This is Leah Fontana. Fontana gonna cycle it into the corner as her teammate Whitney Watson shoots and misses wide. Went glove side and just didn't come up with it. That pass was intended for Sophia Gibson in front. Galassini, great move, goes 5-hole, and Taylor was able to squeeze the pad shut. Great pass there out of the zone by Pacala, and Hardy is just going to chip this deep and get a change. On comes Moravchik, and the Pioneers forecheck as this escapes. The Spartans grab that one-touch pass by Cheltet, didn't work out, and now it's fought for in the neutral zone. Crosses the blue line, back for Galassini. And a great interception there, trying to eventually get the puck was Brennan. She had a lot on that stick, but couldn't corral it, or the Pioneers could have had numbers there. Galassini chips it. Intercepted by Brennan, goes back to her D. This is shot from the point, and it just deflected wide. A save there by Gross Turkey. Went in from the D, got a stick down low, didn't see who got the stick on it. A nice opportunity there for the Pioneers. Here's a turnover and a 2-on-1. Eileen Carey in and tries to shovel it in front. Outstanding defense there by Chistek to deny that opportunity. Now Bush has it stripped. It's Carey again. The shot from the point, it's deflected, and it's a save made by Taylor. Another deep shot, and Taylor's up to the task again. Spartans putting on some pressure now. That glances off the stick of Carey, didn't see it, and Taylor never saw the puck. She was standing up, but fortunately for her, it hit her in the pad, the right pad. She was standing up, never saw that puck, was screened, but was able to make the save very fortunately. The Pioneers retrieve back in the neutral zone. Trying to gain some speed, heading in, it's Josie Lindell as she dumps it deep. Olivia Reineck now after it. This is a deep shot that just missed the net. That was off the stick of Nikki Siciliano. Siciliano, daughter of one of the coaches, Tony Siciliano, on the bench. She's got 3 goals already this year. She's on the right wing, making some room. It's going to be sent across the crease, but no harm done. Erickson couldn't clear. It goes off the stick of Sharoon there and stays in the Michigan State zone. Backhanded try, and it's underneath Taylor there, and then colliding with her and knocking her over into the net was a Spartan. That is Ainsley Campbell, and she unintentionally gave Lindsay Taylor quite the hit. Didn't see if she was stumbling into her, how it happened, but she really ran into Taylor hard there. 5 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in this first period, 1-0. Michigan State, they've controlled the tempo for the most part in this one, but haven't had a ton of terrific chances. The only goal so far was scored by Michigan State. Leonard with the puck. She sends this over. That's Gracie Anderson now. Anderson was the vice president of the club for the last 2 years, took over as the president this season for the Spartans. So Leonard retrieves it near her own dot, a backhanded sauce pass towards center ice, and there's Sophia Gibson as she eludes plenty of the Pioneer defenders, made plenty of a miss while her teammates get a change, and now they'll be able to apply pressure on the forecheck with some fresh bodies. That's intercepted Avery Hayward. It's kept in the zone. Here's Galassini right in. What a save, Taylor. Denies Galassini, who waltzed right in. Here's another shot off the crossbar. Oh boy, both the defensemen for for the Spartans having great opportunities there. That was McLucky ringing the crossbar. Kicks off the half wall, nearly escapes the Spartan zone. Now it does, and this is going to be Brennan. Nice move there, and almost got around McLucky as well. That would have been extremely impressive, something she would put a clip on had she pulled that out. McLucky does a nice job there, angling off the Pioneer forward. As going down to the ice is Bush. The shot on net is saved, says Gabby Mansour. Sent it into the glove of Julia Gross Turkey. 3 minutes, 39 seconds left in this long first period. Because again, there was a 2-minute stretch there, nearly a 2-minute stretch where they just didn't start the clock. So we're playing an extra 2 minutes here in the first period. Nelson comes away with the puck. She wheels around her own net, gains momentum, has that picked off. Bush with the puck and could not find a white and red teammate to give it to. That's a nice interception as Michigan State putting on pressure here. Shot is saved by Taylor. Another interception, shot high this time off the stick of Carey, the top line for the Spartans, causing some havoc here on the rush. Another shot towards net goes right. Misses right, rather. Centered off the skate of a Pioneer, but Robluski's pass could not find her intended target. Here's Carey, cycling it deep. Pacala with the puck. Now it's going to be more of Chick trying to escape the zone, and fanning on that one was Pacala, and it will stay in the Pioneer zone as the Spartans get changes. This is off the stick of the wide open Schlee in the shot. The shot is on net. I said the slot, rather, not the shot. And another save by Taylor. She's been sharp here in this first period outside of that one goal, but she has been under an immense amount of pressure, especially in the second half of this first period. Here's Schlee again, and a pad save by Taylor. Stuck out the right pad. It was a beauty. Wide open in the slot. Schlee had the puck bounce off her stick and away from her about 20 seconds ago. She had her second opportunity and got it on net. This time it's Josie Lindell Squeaking it through Taylor for the second goal of the period. It's 2-0 Spartans. The freshman from Plymouth, Minnesota, tallies her first, who is able to sneak it underneath Taylor. And it's 2-0 with just over 2 minutes remaining in the first period here at Magnus Arena. He needs to find a way to spend more time in the Spartan zone. This game has seen the majority of its play be in the Pioneer zone or the neutral zone. The puck really has not been deep against the Spartans for a long period of time. Denver's chances have come quickly, but they haven't had too many rebound opportunities or second chances gathering in the rebounds. The Spartans have done a nice job with their zone exits. That was played with the hand pass, so we'll get a face-off at center ice. Muscling her way through is Gabby Hardy. And it's a loose puck. Hardy couldn't come up with it. Monsour's pass is deflected. Chisdak trying to run it down. She won't get there, and it exits the Pioneer zone. Sherling. That's Olsen for the Pios. As it's fought for in the neutral zone. Monsour, Campbell jousting for it. And it's going to be Fontana keeping it at the blue line and sending it deep. Wheeling around her own net, that's Lindell. Spinning around again, excuse me, that is Motter, Kiera Motter. Motter showing off her skating abilities, took that to the front of the net, but was met with a bunch of Pioneer sticks. And now Chistek knocks this away, and there's a Pioneer down on the ice. In her own end, there is going to be a penalty called against Gracie Anderson, so the Pioneers will go on the power play. But the main concern here is the Pio that's down on the ice. Can't see the number. I'm being now told that it's number 4. So with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the first period, the Spartans lead this 2-0. Goals from Eileen Carey and, excuse me, not Claire Leonard, Josie Lindell for the Spartans. And while we have this injury down on the ice, oh, she's getting up right now. Is going to take a break. But on her feet, getting help, skated over to the bench. And that's good to see. And that was Anna Sherling the whole time. I was told it was number 4. We couldn't see the 2 on the other side of the jersey. I was trying to make sure I knew exactly who that was beforehand. But it was Anna Sherling who was down on the ice. She's now back on the bench. Didn't go down the tunnel. So that's a good sign, especially with just 1 minute left. So hopefully we'll see her later on in this game. But it's the first power play now for the Denver Pioneers. They've scored on the power play just once this year. It was Gabby Hardy with the tally for the Pioneers as they get started here. Sent towards the center, and it gets through everybody as Chisdek funnels it deep. Galassini is met by Chisdek there. She couldn't come up with it clean off the boards to get it out of the zone. Wonderful move right there by Siciliano. Worked it around the Pioneer forward and got the clear. So now it's Brennan across the red line. That pass is deflected away, and Wróblewski is going to chase it down in her own zone. She won't be able to completely clear it, though. Chisdek with the puck. She shoots, and it's blocked. And now it's sent down the ice. Great hustle there as Allison Nelson went all the way from her own zone to nearly come away with that puck, but the Pioneers will regroup as they look to get their power play going again. They're going to run out of time here in the first period. And there it goes. So the Pioneers will have 56 seconds left on this power play as they look to get back within one when we start the second period. 2 goals for the Spartans. It was Josie Lindahl and Eileen Carey here in the first period. 2-0 Michigan State. We will be right back here after the 15-minute intermission. Welcome back to Magnus Arena, everybody. Zach Goodman bringing you some ACHA hockey. The Denver Pioneers and the Michigan State Spartans. After one period, a long period, I don't know if anybody's ever played a 21-minute and 30-second first period of hockey before, but that's exactly what we just did as the Pioneers are down 2-0. Goals from Josie Lindahl as well as Eileen Carey. That was an inverse order. Carey scored the opener, and then it was Lindahl who scored her first, the freshman scoring her first goal. As the Spartans take the ice now, as we're ready for the second period to get going. I mentioned that they played 20 minutes and 30 seconds in the first period, and it was around there, more than 21 minutes, 36 seconds, around that range. They didn't start the clock. It was about 13 minutes, 20-second mark when an offsides occurred, and they played a good minute and 36 around that mark of hockey, and the next stoppage happened. You look up at the scoreboard, and the clock had not started, and instead of trying to find where it would actually be at, they just acted as if there was a 21-minute period. So extra hockey here, and the Spartans lead 2-0. There will be some power play time left for the Pioneers, though. 56 seconds of the power play, as they will be going right to left now, and the Spartans left to right on your screen. Asher Princeton, Avery Hayward, the forwards out there to kill the penalty for the Spartans. Lisa Petrosky out there as well for Michigan State in green. To take the face-off, Reese Olson. And it's one back for the Pioneers, D to D. Holding on, Pekala tried to flip that over, but Princer read that well and was able to catch it with her hand and pin it against the wall momentarily, killing some time. About 40 seconds left on the power play now. DU has not gotten into the zone yet here in the second period. There's a collision, as going down to the ice there was Petrosky. She's all right, gets up nice and easy. Here's Chistek firing it in. That pass is intercepted. Tried to angle that off the sidewall to Princer, who was dashing into the zone, but Denver was able to shoo away that chance. Galassini looking for the stretch pass, and the Pioneers got a stick on that one. That was Hannah Bourbon. Pios get a change. The penalty is over. The shot is wide off of the stick of Gabby Harding. 3-on-3. The pass intended there for Motter gets kicked away, and now coming up with it here is Fontana, and she gets tripped up, no call. That escapes the zone, and Campbell will have to carry it back. Lindahl finds Motter, who dumps it in. Fontana. Now it's Campbell. It kicks away in front. It's still a loose puck in the slot. And finally, the Pios are able to get a stick to it. Hardy. Now it's Pekala. Pekala. Up against the boards. Also down there for the Pios is Lily Moravchik. Neither team can escape the boards right now. Motter kicks this up. It's Sophia Gibson who goes high to Lindahl, who dumps it deep, starting the cycle, and it's in front, and that's not covered. Taylor tried to cover it, and now she finds the puck. Taylor tried to cover that puck, but it was still sitting there up for grabs right in front of her, but eventually she was able to find it, get a glove on top of it, and get the first stoppage here in the second period. 17:47. Denver 0 for 1 on the power play. Michigan State didn't have a power play in the first period, as this is going to trickle all the way back into the Michigan State zone. Siciliano was racing after it and sends this now the Pios' way. This could be icing, and no, it's not going to be icing. Waved off. Now it's picked up by Chisdak, and That's going to get chopped out of play, so an zone draw for the Spartans. Looked like icing, but it was waved off, and the Spartans capitalized, putting some pressure on. They'll get some fresh bodies onto the ice, while the Pios have their same unit out there. Captain Medyan Swijek taking the face-off. One back by the Spartans, and here's a bit of a break as the Pios come in with speed. That's Hannah Bourbon behind the Michigan State net. It's picked away by Eileen Carey. Carey, great pass, as now Rubliski has a bit of a break. She's right in, shoots at a save made by Taylor. Up for the task there. The puck is going to escape the Michigan State zone. A terrific pass there from Eileen Carey to Spring Rubliski, who took it right in, went to the forehand, but Taylor was able to get her pad on it. Now this shot is blocked in front. That was Mansour with the block, and then it's chopped out of the D zone there by Olsen. She has that go off her stick, and now Chesdick wrestling for it. She backhands it into the Spartan zone. Hardy giving chase, and Galassini was able to get that over the stick and into the neutral zone. Schlee was looking for an entry pass there. Princeton would have been walking in all alone. Great stick lift, and she sends this the length of the ice. They're going to wave off icing again, and I think that's because the referee thought that Sharoon could get a stick on that, and she didn't. So they say no icing. Pacala in the corner, intercepted, Schlee right in, wrist shot save, gobbled up by Lindsay Taylor. Perfect angle, she gave Schlee nothing. Wonderful opportunity for the Spartans. On the turnover by Pacala, Schlee walked right in, and Taylor would not be denied. Here's Lindel's shot, it gets tipped high. That might have been off Fontana's stick. Motter has the puck fall off her stick. DU could not clear the zone. Moravchik tried to get it over the blue line. Good chase by the Spartans to get to it, and their forecheck has been relentless today. The puck has just been living in the Pioneer zone the majority of this game so far. Losing the puck was Lauren Bush. Losing her stick was Lauren Bush, and that prevented her from getting the puck as it was coming to her. She tried to pick up her stick and get the puck. This is deflected off the skate of Sharoon, and right in front. Motter was not able to get a stick on it, though. Now a backhanded try gets deflected away. That was Ava Schuster there for the Spartans. Sharoon on her strong side clears the zone. DU needs a change, especially Pacala and Sharoon, their defensemen. But it's a long change here in the second period. Another chance for the Spartans. Rebound is shoveled over the net just high. That was Schuster on the rebound with the great opportunity as the Spartans continue to bring the pressure. Great move there as Hayward finds some space, sent it in front, and it gets kicked wide and away from pressure. And finally, the Pioneers are going to get some fresh bodies on defense. Hannah Bourbon applying some pressure, giving the Pioneers a chance to change, and here's a turnover. Racing into the zone is Schuster, and she sends this to a change in Rubliski, who couldn't touch the puck because it would have been too many men on the ice. Heads up play there. If she fields that puck, and she could have walked right in, but there was about 7 or 8 Spartans in a change right there, so she couldn't touch it. And now Taylor's going to cover this long shot from out of the zone and get a draw. So 13:25 left in the second period. It's 2-0 Michigan State. over the Denver Pioneers. Again, Michigan State 4-2, game number 1 of their 3-game road trip. These two teams match up again tomorrow. That will be at 3:45. The Spartans then play again on Monday against the Colorado Buffaloes. Pios could get numbers here. Hardy sends it in from a far and hard angle, and an easy save there by Gross Turkey. She hasn't been tested much, but when she has been, she's been up to the task. Pioneers are going to get a change here as Michigan State looks to turn the tides the other way. Racing in, Nelson had that puck poked loose. That was Gabby Mansour coming back and breaking up that play. The centering pass would have provided a great opportunity. Here's Galasini walking right in. The defenseman shovels it across, and Princeton was not looking for it. She was expecting the shot to come from Galasini. She was right in, but decided to pass, and no shot was taken. Princeton, she can really skate. This is shoveled in front. Keeping it in the zone is Lindell, who's fresh off the bench. That's deflected towards the net, and Taylor was able to find it and get a glove on it. Kicked up off her stick and into her glove. She'll get a cover, and the Pioneers will get a change. Tell you what, Galasini can really activate as a defenseman. 2 goals against Penn State last time out. She waltzed right in, but didn't get the shot off there. Tried to find Princeton, who is also ultra talented. Princeton had 23 points in 22 games as a junior. Played a couple of years of NCAA hockey at Curry College before moving on to play club hockey here at Michigan State. 12 minutes remaining in the period. Icing waved off. Lindell chasing it down in her own zone. Followed closely by Reese Olson. Castle Rock native. Decent amount of Colorado kids, as expected, on this Pioneers team. Same could be said about Michigan and this Michigan State team for obvious reasons. Sharoon stood her ground at the line, kept the puck in the O-zone. There's 5 bodies fishing for the puck. It eventually squeaks its way out, and Leah Fontana is going to start the rush the other way. Her pass eluded her target, and now it's stolen away. Chance for Michigan State in front. Shot in! 3-0 Avery Hayward, the Naperville, Illinois native, gets on the board. She put it over the shoulder of Taylor on the giveaway by the Pioneers. And the Spartans lead 3-0. First goal for Avery Hayward. Came with 11 minutes and 4 seconds left in the second period. Claire Leonard backhands it behind the Pioneer net. Can't escape the zone. Anderson was standing at the blue line. Campbell was standing at the blue line and was able to keep it in. Oh, that was Anderson, excuse me. The 8 and the 10 can sometimes, the 18, excuse me, the 8 and the 10 can sometimes look a little bit similar. As a steal here by the Pioneers, they'll send it deep. Bush is giving chase, but first to it is Ava Schuster for the Spartans, and she looks like a one-woman breakout. She finds Wroblewski 2-on-2 for Michigan State. Shot is saved with the blocker. That was a long snapshot from beyond the dot. At a tough angle, Taylor makes the save. This is just going to escape the Pioneer zone, as Eileen Carey there was wide open. Had they gotten one more touch on that, she would have had a great look from the near side wing. Pios have the puck. It's Gabby Mansour. Gabby Hardy now. It's the pair of Gabbies touching the puck back to back. Now darting in, Nelson centers it just away from the stick of Carey. Circling around. Schlee loses the puck. It's loose. It won't escape the zone. It's picking up as Petrosky. Her shot goes wide. Rebound corralled off the boards. Schlee was open, but the pass was taken away there before it got to her by Brennan. And now a cover for the Pioneers. That puck worked itself loose in front of Taylor. She stops the havoc by putting her glove right on top of it. 9 minutes, 4 seconds left in the second period. 3-0, Michigan State. Shot is blocked before it gets to the net. And now Sharoon couldn't escape the zone. Pekala, good move. Was able to work it up to Brennan. Princeton is working some dirty dangles, but eventually Brennan comes up with the puck in the neutral zone. Puck is still loose. Michigan State looking to counter. Sharoon pushes it across the red line before Schlee intercepts. She'll send it back to Siciliano. Great pass by Lindell, and it's going to be offsides. It's going to go all the way back into the Denver side of the neutral zone. Lindell didn't catch who she was looking for. And there would have been a break had that pass not been offsides. So face-off in the neutral zone. Pioneers looking to generate some offense. They have just one shot here in the second period. They've been on their heels, but Taylor has been good for them, keeping Michigan State for the most part off the scoreboard. The only goal being scored by Avery Hayward at the 11-minute mark. Swyjet with one arm muscled it in front of the net. Plenty of Spartans there to help out Gross Turkey, and eventually they'll come away with the puck. Here's Leonard. Chops it in, giving chase now, and collecting the puck is Kiera Mater. Right behind her is Fontana, and the puck eludes the captain Leonard for the Spartans. And now here's an offsides call. I think the Spartans have been offsides about 9 or 10 times tonight. And they do lead 3-0 though. The Spartans don't go captain and then 2 assistant captains. They just have 3 different girls out there that wear the C. Shot misses wide. Here's Hardy from a sharp angle. That might have gone off the post. Still in the zone, trying to center it is Pekala. Loose puck. And eventually finding some space there was Schlee. Now hustling in. Here's Gibson. Gibson's shot is saved with the glove by Taylor. That gets by Hardy. From the point, it's deflected, and Taylor was able to squeeze the pads, didn't let anything through the 5-hole there. It was a deep shot from Petrosky. And I believe that was Ava Schuster who got a piece of it down in front before the save was made by Taylor. Draw one by Moravchik. Michigan State comes away with it, though. Nelson was waiting in the slot, and it got tipped away from her and escapes the zone. Down to the ice now, Galassini, and she is stick handling in a phone booth from her knees. Now it's Carey. Sealing off the wall there was Brennan. She has the puck now into the slot, and there was about 3 Spartan sticks there to make sure she couldn't get the shot away. Nelson poached this around Sharoon and cycled in Galassini. Steps in. Galassini. Back up to her deep partner. It squeaks through it. A save made by Taylor. That was Petrosky again there. Galassini creates so much as a defenseman. She can really skate and has great handles. Schlee tried the backhanded pass in front, but it ends up in the Pioneers' corner, where Morfchik tries to clear. Can't do it, but there is a penalty for interference called against Michigan State, I believe. It is going to be Anna Roblewski who is going to go to the box for a 2-minute minor interference, and the Pioneers will have their second power play of the game. It's the game's second power play in general. They trail 3-0. This would be a great spark for them to get back on the board. Back in the game, and rather on the board. Haven't been on the board yet. Again, the only power play goal so far this year for the Pioneers was scored by Gabby Hardy. Spartans win the faceoff. And Lindell couldn't clear it, but her second opportunity, she will, as the puck got deflected right back to her. Sharoon tried to chip that away, but it's pinned against the wall, killing some time before Sharoon eventually does come away with the puck. Good pressure there by Olivia Reineck to kill some time. Sharoon has that puck knocked away from her. That's Mansour now. Backhanded try to Swyjek, and it's rejected. Sent right back in to the Pioneer zone, and Michigan State was offsides again, as Princeton had to go get back on side. She's on the ice again, and is able to send it into the Pioneer zone. DU has not had the puck yet in the Spartan zone on this power play, and now Princeton is like Peter Forsberg used to do. Just pick up the puck and kill the penalty yourself. Go skate it around. She took it out of the Pioneer zone, skated it back into her zone. Now they're playing pitch and catch with Claire Leonard. But the Pioneers are able to apply a little bit of pressure here. Let's see if their forecheck can turn into an opportunity. Brennan pushing for the puck and trying to keep it in was Chisdak with the hand, but it eventually gets pushed away. Avery Hayward, the goal scorer from earlier in the period, killing the penalty now. 22 seconds left on the Roblewski interference minor. Now with 3-on-2 for the Pioneers if they hurry here, and tremendous back-checking there by Princeton to really shut things down. She is everywhere in this one. Doesn't have a point to show for it, but boy, has she been good. So the power play is over. Pioneers now 0 for 2. Molly Erickson had that puck deflect just away from her. Hardy pushed for it. Now it's Motter carrying into the zone for the Spartans. One hand passes it behind the net. Now it's Ainsley Campbell. Pekala comes up with the puck for DU. Erickson couldn't reach that one. It's kept in the zone, but Galassini, that was right on the blue line, but Fontana keeps it in. Now Galassini, the D-man activating. Up to Petrosky, walking the line. Fontana, soft shot, worked its way through. It was tipped in front. Or was it? We'll see who's first in line. Down the handshake line. Either way, it's 4-0 Spartans. And that is going to be Fontana's goal. She took the shot from the point. It was a soft shot through traffic. It was deflected, but it must have gone off of a Pioneer. And it was able to squeak through Lindsay Taylor. So Fontana is able to score. The sophomore from Willamette, Illinois. It is 4-0. 3 minutes left in the second period. Another opportunity, but it's swatted away with the stick by Taylor. Michigan State will get a change off the dump in. 4-zip on this Saturday night at Magnus Arena. Swijek was able to get it to the neutral zone momentarily, and now doing the same will be Sharoon. Right off the bench, an opportunity, but Hannah Bourbon could not come up with the puck. She had just come off the bench as the puck was squeaking behind the Michigan State defense, and this is going to be an icing. So the puck will go 200 feet the other way. We'll have an ozone draw for the Spartans. It'll be on the far side circle. Tired group of Pioneers out there outside of Hannah Bourbon, who just came on right before the icing. Swijek wins the face-off, wheeling around Mansour. Now she turns around and flung it the other way, and the first to the puck is going to be Ava Schuster for Michigan State. Swijek comes away with it, saucers it up, but not out of the zone. And a bunch of Stitch just whacking it, just trying to keep it in the ozone. For the Spartans, Gibson was the last one to really get a piece of it. Lindell walking in, shoots, and the save by Taylor. Boy, has she been tested. And despite giving up 4 goals, Lindsay Taylor, the Shelburne, Vermont native, has been pretty sharp today. She's made a lot of tough saves. She's just been under fire since the opening whistle. Rather, the opening puck drop. Face-off one. Pekala reams it off the boards. It deflects right back to her. She has it muscled away from her by Leonard, who put it right out in front. It was underneath Taylor, and she'll draw the whistle. She was behind the net. That's Claire Leonard. She went 1-on-2 to come away with the puck. Just pushed it in front. It went behind Taylor and underneath her. And it did come to a stop, and they were able to get a stoppage. Minute 28 left in the period. Anderson's shot goes wide right. Leonard keeps it in. Activating. Top line out there for Michigan State. Pekala throws it off the glass and out of the zone. Carey chips that in. Probably deflected it more than she wanted to as it stopped right up for Pekala. And they'll have to retry. Leonard going to head off the ice after a good pass to Anderson there. Pioneers chasing in their own zone. Schlee giving pressure. She gets knocked off the puck. Pekala was about to send it up the boards, but Schlee was waiting there. Pass in front, just missed Princeton. She was a moment late off the bench, where she would have been alone in front with Taylor. Anderson, she shoots high. Retrieved by Princeton. Princeton to the high slot, shoots, it's deflected wide. Princeton was almost the first one to her own rebound. She let it go through to Anderson. She is just a step faster than seemingly everybody else on the ice tonight. Schlee works it back to Princeton. It gets through her. Coming off the bench is Petrosky, but Princeton worked all the way back to the blue line, collects it, now she's on the attack again. As the buzzer sounds, it's a glove save made by Lindsay Taylor. A couple more goals scored by the Spartans in the second period. They lead 4-0 as we go to our final intermission. Third period of hockey coming up next from Magnus Arena. Third period of action ahead here at Magnus Arena. It is 4-0. Michigan State leading the Denver Pioneers in this one. It's been an offensive barrage as shots have been coming in heaps against Lindsay Taylor. For the most part, she has done really well in net for the Pioneers. She has given up 4 goals, but she has been under a ton of pressure. That first period was a little bit more evenly matched, especially in the first 10 minutes. The second period, despite a couple of power play opportunities for the Pioneers, really was heavily dominated by the Michigan State Spartans. They seem just to step quicker. The puck has been in the Pioneer zone the majority of this game, and especially there in the second period. So the Pioneers are looking to figure out a way to generate some more offense and get back into this one. They'll have 20 minutes to try and tie this thing up. They're trailing 4-0 right now. These two teams will get after it again after a night's rest tonight. They will play at Family Sports Center down in Centennial tomorrow, and that will be a rematch there. 3:45 p.m. will be the start time locally here Mountain Time. So out in Michigan, that's a 5:45 p.m. start in East Lansing. As we're just about ready to get underway. Aaron Schlee is going to take the draw for the Spartans. And it's going to be Lily Moravchik for the Pioneers. Third period underway. Face-off won by Michigan State, retrieved by Petrosky. Petrosky sends it over to Galasini. Galasini's pass goes off of Schlee and recovered by Erickson in the neutral zone. Moravchik dumps it deep, trying to cover it up there. It was Gross Turkey, but it went off her glove and stayed in play, and that's going to benefit Michigan State as now they had a break. 2-on-1, maybe even a 3-on-1, and the puck is juggled. Now behind the net, Princeton has it off of a skate. She sends it high. Petrosky works the side wall and eventually, half wall rather, eventually sends it deep, and there's an errant pass. Galasini intercepts, putting the pressure on. She sends it deep. A couple of Spartans get changes as the Pioneers look to clear the zone, and they will, and both teams now will completely get changes. Petrosky drops this back for Galasini, but it's going to be Carey instead. The first Spartan to her, and that's going to squeak through. A goal for Denver. Gabby Mansour delivers her first goal of the season. And the Pioneers are on the board. It's 4-1. She had it on the half wall, off an interception. Didn't think twice, just sent it towards the net as Gabby Hardy tackles her on the ice in excitement for her teammate before the puck is dropped. But it really caught off guard Gross Turkey, who had it go right between the wickets on a soft shot. The Pioneers will take it, and just over a minute into this third period, they've cut into the lead, down by just 3 here. They'll have an ozone draw. Gotta love Gabby Hardy as well, jumping all over her teammate. Super excited for her for scoring that goal. The California native, Gabby Mansour, getting on the score sheet tonight. Minute and a half into this third period. Michigan State trying to escape their own zone. And great job there, angling off that puck by Sam Brennan. Now the Pioneers will look to counter. They can't get it out of their own zone. Slap shot is wide. Stayed on the ice the entire way in off the stick of Siciliano. On the half wall, a few bodies jousting for that puck. It'll eventually get out of the zone. That was off the stick of Chisdek. Chisdek listed as a forward, but has been playing D all day today. And Again, as this puck's right into the high slot. Shot is saved by Taylor. She got a piece of it. Moravchik was in her own net, as that was a bit of a broken play, and all of a sudden Michigan State had a chance from the high slot. But what I was saying is that Alex Chizdek has been playing D all day for the Pioneers, and again, they have so many of their defensemen studying abroad this semester who will be back for the second half of this season. Now to the neutral zone, Anderson D to D, great pass inside, and it's sent towards the net. Taylor has it underneath her, and she'll cover. Was able to knock it down with her stick, and was content for the face-off. Good to see Denver get on the board early in the third period, give themselves a little bit of life as they look to try to make a comeback in this one. Trailing by 3, they had 17 minutes to work with. Gasolini punts it back into the zone. Pushed off the puck there was Princeton. It's loose on the far side. This is chipped up for Erickson, but she's not going to get there in time. As dashing back was Galassini, and now she starts working forwards, goes between the legs. It's loose in front and eventually gets kicked into the corner. She tried to go right between the legs of Alicia Sharoon, but good defensive positioning was able to shut it down. Icing called, and we'll head back the other way as Princeton pops that puck up in the air and makes the catch to deliver it to the referee. The skating skills of Mia Galassini as well as Asher Princeton have been highlighted all night tonight. They have been flying around the ice, creating so much space for themselves and their teammates. Neither one of them has scored, but they have created a multitude of opportunities. Like right here, Campbell scores! She got the stick in underneath of Taylor and poked it home. Was it Campbell or was it someone else? No, it was Kiera Motter who got the final stick on it. It was underneath Taylor off the Campbell shot. They were both reaching for it, but it was Motter who gets that goal right back for Michigan State. They lead 5-1. The 5'3" junior out of Massachusetts. Defenseman tallying the goal there. 5-1 here in the third. Mansour. Pass goes all the way back into the Michigan State end where it's collected by Lindell, who wheels around her own net before sending it to center ice. Picked up now by Hayward, who has that poked away. Great defensive play there by Chizdek. DU trying to counter. It's poked off the stick of Brennan. Brennan catches it with her hand. Now back down to her stick. She sends it towards the net. An easy save for Gross Turkey. Pio's trying to keep some pressure on Michigan State. Puck held in the zone. Good job sealing off the wall there by Chizdek. It's sent around the boards where Sophia Gibson will chop at it, and eventually it comes out. Now on the move, it is Ava Schuster who shoots and is denied by Taylor. Left-handed shot from the near side dot. Ripped away there, but saved by Taylor. Didn't allow a rebound. Really nice job there. Strong save. Just over 5 minutes into this third period. 5-1. Michigan State. I think earlier in the game, I might have accidentally called them momentarily the Wolverines, which is got to be the worst thing you could do when talking about the Michigan State Spartans is talk about the other school out there from Michigan. But hey, we're far away here in Denver. We're not as wrapped up in that rivalry where it's second nature as much, but of course is a great rivalry. The Spartans and the Wolverines. The Wolverines won 2-0 over this Michigan State team a couple of weeks ago. Galassini to Petrosky. That worked its way through. Might have been deflected and a save made by Taylor. Schuster goes up high. Petrosky sends it around. Gathered there by Pekala. Squeaks through Brennan. Petrosky shot that towards the net. It went off of Carey, and now they'll retrieve. Galassini couldn't find the puck, and it turns into a turnover, but she steals it right back and activates herself and is able to seal off the wall for a moment, too, deflecting that, as now she's got to hustle to get back on D. As the Pioneers try to counter, they'll get a change here. Moravchik in a battle. Hannah Bourbon putting some pressure on. Siciliano spinning around. Now here's Schlee, wide open in front, chops it in. It snuck through. Initially, it looked like Taylor was able to make the save. Schlee was able to get her stick on that, just whacking away, and is able to score the 6th goal of the game for Michigan State. It's Erin Schlee. She also scored in their last game against Penn State. Senior out of Hinsdale, Illinois. She has the 6th Michigan State goal of the game. Here's another shot and another save by Taylor. Mansour spins around, turns it over. Princeton sends it towards the net. Loose puck. The Pioneers are able to clear it from the front. Here's a shot on net and a save by Taylor. Linville from the point sent that through. Fluttered the puck on net right into the DU logo of Taylor. She swallowed it up. 13:03 left now. Another ozone draw for the Spartans. Reineck protecting the puck. Now it's turned over. Bush was trying to exit the zone. Rather, Hardy was trying to exit the zone, but had it poked away. Now Mansour behind her own net. Princeton gives the pressure. She's able to come away with the puck. She is surrounded by white and red jerseys, but nobody can touch her. This is backhanded towards the net. It misses wide, and now chasing after it is Ainsley Campbell and knocking the stick away from Gabby Hardy there, who gives her a little shove on the way through. Princeton drops this back off, and a great read there by Moravchik as she was waiting right for it. But eventually Campbell able to put some more pressure on and come away with the steal. Here's Princeton looking for options. Saucer pass. The shot is just going to trickle wide. Saved by Taylor. It was loose and just went outside the post. Player Leonard had all the time in the world to rip that shot off the excellent feed from Princeton. Fontana lost the puck. Leonard sends it deep. Brennan didn't pick up where that puck was. Now she's got it. Again, not able to escape the zone. Mater applying pressure. This is going to swing to Swijek. Taken away, barreling her way in. That's Galassini, and sent it in front, but nobody was home. Pekala was able to deny that as the Pioneers have finally escaped their own zone, but have given away the puck right back. Squeaking through is Brennan, but she is gassed. She's been playing defense for a while now and couldn't get to that puck to spawn the 2-on-1. This is slung around the boards again. Good job there by Sharoon to cut off and keep the puck in the O-zone. Now she's down on the ice. She got shoved over there by McLucky. Puck is still up against the boards there. It finally comes loose, and Brennan, who's been on the ice for seemingly forever, just tried to throw it on net, and it was intercepted by Galassini, who's now heading the other way. She's been out there for a while as well. Looking for options, and she gets pressured and pushed over. And here's a shot and a goal. Another Michigan State goal there. Walking right in off the turnover, was able to beat Taylor. It's 7-1. The goal from Avery Hayward, her second of the game. The freshman made it 3-0 in the second. Now she makes it 7-1. So after that quick goal by DU to start this third period, things are flowing right back into Michigan State's favor as they've scored 3 unanswered after that goal. Went up 4-0. It was 4-1 after that goal in the first minute by the Pioneers. Now 7-1. Carey flings it on net. Might have been going a bit wide. Getting the blocker on it anyways there was Taylor. As now escaping her own zone. That's Moravchik. Moravchik shovels it in off the left wing. Giving chase now is Chisdak. Carey had it intercepted. Flung on net by Mansour, the goal scorer for the Pioneers. Easy save for Gross as this is pushed towards the net. And good defensive positioning there for Michigan State to deny that opportunity. Siciliano was waiting for that shot and intercepted it. Poked out by Lindell. This is shot on net, and that was a bit funky. Gross Turkey was able to make the save on Chisdak, who shot that from center ice, but it bounced right in front of her, and the puck can bounce in interesting ways, as all us hockey fans know. Chisdak able to keep it in right off the blue line, backhands it back in. Lindell works it around. That's Siciliano who has it intercepted. Hardy tried to work it in front. She's got it again. Shot is gobbled up. Gross Turkey with her best save of the game. Tremendous steal by Gabby Hardy. She took it right into the slot. Got a good shot off. Tried to go to the 7-hole underneath the blocker. But a nice job by Gross Turkey to squeeze those arms together and keep that puck out of the net. It was perhaps the best opportunity of the game for the Pioneers. Right from the slot, Hardy got all of that shot. Their lone goal was really a shot that caught Gross Turkey by surprise. Pekala denied a 2-on-1 situation from happening. Now Princeton wrestling in. She is moving and had it poked away. Good job by Pekala. She comes up with the puck, trying to take it out herself, but it's intercepted. The puck is saucered over to Princeton, who swings and misses. She was watching the Brewers play in the NLCS there. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left. 7-1, Michigan State, as Moravchik sends it deep. Now Brennan on the ice. Fresh leg, she's forechecking. Deflects back into the zone. Wouldn't have been offside. Now Princeton's got a step. Steps back, still has the puck. Her shot's wide. Boy, is she talented. She went 1-on-3 right there. Dodged the defense. Got a lot on that shot. Turnover here. Brennan thought that Moravchik was going to be pushing up the ice. She left the puck there for her, but Moravchik was content staying back near her own blue line. Wasn't pushing. Now Lindell activates. Motter. And now it's Gasolani, And she got a good rip off there. Puck's free. Chipped away from the high slot. 7:20 left in this one. Lindell pushed up against the wall. Mansour tried to clear it, caught a body. Galasini walking right in. Galasini shoots, and she's met with the glove. Taylor snatches that out of midair. Galasini pranced right in, galloping around defenders, and got a great rip-off. Was going above the glove, but Taylor flashed through the leather. Both teams get changes. Here's a shot from Petrosky. It's blocked her away, up above and into the netting. Good face-off win, right to the D, and Alicia Petrosky sent that on net. Both her and Josie Lindell, freshman defenseman from Plymouth, Minnesota. This will go the length of the ice. Shouldn't be icing. They're going to wave it off. Tons of speed, and it's intercepted. That's Hannah Bourbon, but she couldn't completely come down with it, or she would have had a great opportunity. Galasini works its way up, maybe a 2-on-1 here for Michigan State. Terrific back check to break that up, though. That was Hannah Bourbon again. Erickson's on the ice right where the puck is, and we're going to get a whistle. Penalty is called here. And again, it's going to go up against Michigan State. This time on Ava Schuster. Didn't see the motion that was given by the referee, so not sure what the penalty was. Molly Erickson was on the ground there. Probably looking at something like interference or a trip. I was looking at Ava Schuster go to the box instead of the referee call the penalty, and of course they're not announcing it over the loudspeaker or anything, so I missed the motion. I apologize. Either way, it's a 2-minute power play, the third of the game for the Pioneers. The opening draw is won by Michigan State and sent the length of the ice. A collision between Bourbon and a Michigan State player, as that's a great shot on net there from Chizdek. Stick on the knees, gliding over to the bench now. That's Anna Robluski for Michigan State, who collided hard with Hannah Bourbon there. And she is getting looked at on the bench. Power play face-off won by the Pioneers. Plenty of time for Pekala. Her saucer pass went over the stick of Olsen. And the Spartans will clear. A little touch pass there by Taylor to Pekala, and a great forecheck by Campbell to pin that against the boards and then recover. Stretch pass, it finds Brennan. Brennan pulls up into the zone. It's pushed away from her there by Allie Nelson as she walked in. Olsen fishing for the puck. It comes loose as Sharoon's shot doesn't get home. And Michigan State's killers will get off the ice as we reach the halfway point of the penalty. 4 fresh skaters out there for the Spartans. Second unit out for the Pioneers. Closing in on 5 minutes remaining in this one. 40 seconds left in the power play as the puck is pinned in the corner. Hardy's there battling it out. Moravchik came away momentarily with the puck, and now pressure by Svajek is able to come up with the puck momentarily. It's a 2-on-1. She's pinning it against the board. Now she's getting some help from Moravchik. And eventually that board battle was won by the Spartans, and that was a 1-on-2, two Spartans to 1 Pioneer there for a little bit, and then it turned into a 2-on-2. Would have probably liked to see more white jerseys around the puck there, especially because they were on the power play. They had the numbers. Princeton intercepts as the power play expires. Princeton dancing around the goal line, underneath it rather. She finds Galasini, who rips a shot. It's deflected off a Pioneer and goes wide, so Sharoon will get the block there. Here's the shot in from Siciliano that goes wide. Now it's Schlee behind the net. She scored already today. Princeton saucer to Schlee. What a pass and what a save! Going across her crease, Taylor pushed away. What sauce from Princeton. That was a magical pass. That was a good 2 feet in the air, landed right on the stick of Schlee for a golden opportunity. Now darting right in, that's Lindell, who has that puck deflected up into the screening. Not Lindell, excuse me, that was Fontana. That was the best play of the game, though, that we watched there from Princeton. That pass was magical. Landed right on the stick. It's almost a surprise Schlee that it was that perfect of a pass, and a great push by Taylor to go post to post to save that one. A little over 3.5 minutes remaining in this one. 7-1 Michigan State. Campbell in the corner. Pressure's on her. Siciliano has that one squeaked through her, and Michigan State will have to go chase this one down now. Josie Lindell, the first to the puck. Good forecheck there by Bourbon. Patient. And eventually sending it up to Campbell, who had it glance off her stick. Fontana almost came away with a steal, which would have resulted in a big opportunity. Instead, it works its way out into the neutral zone. Now we have Pekla. Nice move to gain an edge on the wing. She cuts the high. Slaughter shot is saved with the glove by Gross Turkey. Pekla made a nice move to gain entry into the zone, going to her backhand. She then sent it right back to her forehand. A shot from the high slot. A wrister was gloved down by Julia Gross Turkey. Again, the Ontario, Canada native, the only Canadian playing in this game for either side. Everybody else from the United States. And the way that junior hockey is built nowadays, and new rules with the NCAA allowing kids to go play in junior hockey leagues and then come back and play college hockey like the WHL. We see it with Gavin McKenna right now at Penn State. But it's really also going to have a trickle-down effect into some club hockey, where there's just going to be so many good hockey players and not enough college spots for them. It's really going to elevate a sport that, or rather a sport, but a version of the sport in club college hockey, as it is rapidly growing. We saw right here at Madness Arena last year on the men's side, as there's an icing with 2:11 remaining. The UNLV club team came in and beat the #1 ranked University of Denver Pioneers last year, the reigning defending national champions at the time, and they beat them in a shootout right here at Magnus Arena in one of the greater upsets you'll ever witness. Of course, the Pioneers ended up going to the Frozen Four again last year, tried to repeat as champions, but fell just short. Under 120 seconds remaining in this one. Mansour tried to kick that to her stick to keep it in, but could not. And now it's going to be Sharoon just sending it deep and getting off the ice. Picked up here by Leonard. And a nice shot by Pekla to get off the bench and break up that rush for the Spartans. As a diving effort is to no avail to prevent the icing there. Do like the effort, though, Allie Nelson. 90 seconds left in this one. You're up 6 goals. She's laying out on the ice, just trying to prevent an icing. And the Pioneers will have an ozone draw. 7-1 Michigan State. They scored twice in the first period, twice in the second period. It was 4-0 coming into the third. That was when Gabby Mansour got the Pioneers on the board in the first minute, or rather just after the first minute of play here in the third, made it 4-1, but then 3 unanswered goals from Michigan State has us where we're at right now. 7-1, 2-on-1 developing for the Spartans. Pass across, and they couldn't get it to Carey. If that hits her stick, it is right in the net. She had the entire near side of the net, just wide open to her on a great feed, but just could not get the tip down. 54 seconds remaining in this one. Ubleski launch shot. Good to see her back out on the ice after that collision earlier on with Bourbon. Went wide. Pekala activating, had that get by her, and now retreating into her own zone is Alex Chizdek. Chizdek has this intercepted. Walking right in, it's Galassini, backhanded wraparound, another opportunity on the rebound. It's sent away, keeping it in the zone. There is Siegel. Siegel is upended, and now throwing it up over the referee. Princeton has the puck. One-touch pass to the center of the ice. It is sent deep by Reineck. Princeton chasing after it, is able to come away with the puck right out in front, and it is sounds to end this game by a final score of 7-1. Michigan State improves to 5-2 on the year. The Pioneers fall to 0-7 on the season. 2 goals in the first period, 2 goals in the second period for the Spartans, 3 in the third. A pair of goals scored by Avery Hayward in this one. Kiera Motter, Josie Lindell, Aaron Schlee, as well as Eileen Carey and Leah Fontana, also goal scorers for the Spartans today. The lone goal scorer for the Pioneers was Gabby Mansour. Michigan State dominated puck possession in this one, really tested Lindsay Taylor all night, who really played pretty well with the amount of pressure that she was under. And the 7-1 defeat is in the books. These two teams will match up once again tomorrow, 3:45 p.m. in game number 2 of a 3-game road trip here in the Mile High City for the Michigan State Spartans. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And if you're looking for more hockey, we'll have it right here at 3:45 p.m. tomorrow. This has been Zach Goodman wishing you a wonderful